Yeah, we pull up, and we hop out. Yeah, we pull up.
From the top, let's go.
Yeah, we pull up, and we hop out. Yeah, we pull up, and we hop out. Yeah, we pull up, and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up, and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up, and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up, and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up, and we hop out. Talking about some things you was not about. Tell them we don't play like the lockout. Got me feeling like Yeezy on the dropout. Can't deal with no phonies. Flow like baloney. Ain't no game round here, homeboy. This ain't Sony. They said they gon' show me. They sent me not on me. You don't know me. Call the game, what's up now? They hating from the bus now. Been doing this T-Pain. Drop the up down. Oh, I'm on the hunt now. Tell me what you want now. Yeah, I do my dance when you see me in the touchdown. Yeah, we pull up and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out.
Yeah, when we pulling up, my nigga, let me know. And if the haters hate, we finna let him go. Pull up, pop out, two-step, hit the torpedo. When we do our thing, homie, don't let your shorty go. Everywhere we go, we do the stupid dance. I've been doing this since Soulja Boy taught y'all the Superman. Always showing love, we play the stupid jams. Hit you with them shots and got the kind of aim that Cupid has. We ain't never scared, we don't play about it. Keep the party going, give a damn what they say about it. Gotta keep it simple, this for everybody. Ladies and the homies, it's a function, we don't care about it. Flopping in the whip, got the speakers going crazy. Block party lit, family geeking, getting way. Grannies to the uncles, to the nieces, to the babes. We gon' get it cracking like a weekend
in
the
we pull up and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah, we pull up and we hop out. Do our dance, then we bring the whole block out. Yeah. Back on my bull, back on my cool. I'm turning it up, they feeling the heat, so they searching for pools. Tripping on me cause I'm doing my thing and they hoping that I'll be the fool. Taking the game and I'm screwing it up while these boys still searching and looking for tools. Playing it cool, faking it's who. Yeah, they ain't mad cause I'm breaking the rules. Breaking it loose when I'm breaking some news. Give me your pride and I'm breaking that juice. They ain't ahead of us, they don't compare to us. They feeling the kick cause they hearing the change like I opened the register. Flexing on tracks cause this thing is not optional. Leg day is coming, I'm jumping the obstacles. Laughing at haters, we thinking it's comical. Yelling outside like we yelling out dominoes. Always be claiming they monsters. Boy, go get you a sponsor. All of that chatting, all of that acting, gon' mess around, get you an Oscar. They calling me Terrence, I hustle and flow. They all on my line cause I'm still in the vote. Your girl all on me cause she feeling the stroke. Make them say whoa when I'm hitting my woe. Talking like I do not got it. You talking like your boy is not it. When you talk, all I hear is yappa, yappa, yada, 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 yada. Most of your favorites ain't dealing with me. Pouring it up like the end of the week. You don't let us in, we still in the keys. We coming from nothing and ending the streak. Aiming at throats and taking out knees. They feeling the pressure and know they can't breathe. Winning the races and taking the places and walking they stages like it's a degree. Feel it in your veins, it's a dope flow. Got the whole game in a chokehold. They taking too long, you can't see me now. Put them in boxes like photos. Packing the bags and hitting new land. I do what I want, they do what they can. All in their way, I'm messing up plans. I'm speaking the truth, I keep it a Grant. Waiting for Zell, never will fail. Waist looking slim, she eating her kale. I'm peeping the game and playing it well. She throwing it back like it's way too exhale. Come from the pain and I'm chasing no fame. I come up with morals, can't slander my name. Taking what's mine and grabbing the flame. Shooting my shot and yelling out game. Know what's real when I'm giving the feel. Can't look back when you turning the wheel. Go get a doctor, I'm giving the chills. Told them to get out, grab the key and they pill. I warn them that I am a factor. Clearing the way for this tractor. Got some new goals, never will fold. Came too far just to back up. Nah, this ain't what you used to. We ain't tripping on nobody, we just moved through. You couldn't keep up, cause my steps too long. It's time to wake them up, they have slept too long. Zell.
What's up, Kings fans? Smash up that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to get this show started here shortly. Special shout out to Alpha Man 100, a member of the royal family.
I remember when you was crying over tests. You know I held you tight while your head was on my chest. I wanna go back to the times we didn't stress. Everything was black and white, something like a ref. I swear our love is slept on. You can have my left arm. Your friends was talking mess, but you was never crept on. Your mind was saying that. Your friends was saying this. I ain't never raised my voice, never once called you a I know as a woman, a lot is on your mind. You thinking about the future, you questioning the time. Well, baby, I'm your answer, let me be right by your side. I wanna see you shine, when you tired, let me drive. I ain't in a rush, girl, you know I got the patience. Remember when we used to picture better situations? I know your past struggles, them other guys wasn't wise. But look into my eyes, I promise it's you and I. Baby, please tell me the truth. Please, no more lies about you. Yeah, you know this feeling isn't cool. How can I be your rock? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? When I look into your eyes, I am not seeing a clue. I know you going through it too. How can I stop loving you? We was at my boy's wedding, celebrating love. Now we sitting here like, what the hell is us? I wanna freeze time for the hours that we rush.
Go DJ.
Welcome to Royal Rebounds TV with Calvin and Barry. Just two crazy fans of the Sacramento Kings and they sharing their opinion. So be sure that you subscribe. It's for the fans, by the fans. Whether you chilling on the couch or wildin' in the stands. For laid back conversations about the Kings, subscribe here. Staying down until we come up thinking this gon' be our year. We're here, drinking beer, talking about the Kings. Be sure you subscribe so you can hear that bell ring, yeah.
What's up, Kings fans? Welcome to the Royal Rebounds podcast. Excuse Barry over here. He forgot to set up the Twitter spaces, so we're running just a tad behind.
How'd you know? All I said was, oh, shit. I forgot.
I'm your host. What's my name? Calvin. What's up, guys? How we doing? We all knew that this one was going to go probably the way it did. Maybe not by as many points as somebody pointed out here in the chat, but look, 2 games left. It's clear what the Kings are prioritizing at this point. Barry, welcome in. How you doing, man? Happy Friday.
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's Friday. It feels like Friday, and it's my Friday, so I am excited. Kings lose tonight, unfortunately, 119-97 to the Golden State Warriors, but that's okay. No De'Aaron Fox tonight. No Domas Sabonis. No Kevin Huerter. No Malik Monk. I'm surprised Harrison Barnes played tonight. I mean, the dude has started.
He's going for all 82.
Every single game this year. It's absolutely incredible. But, hey, welcome, everybody. Welcome into Royal Rebounds, the Sacramento Kings YouTube channel for fans, by fans. If you're a Kings fan, make sure you smash up that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are live after every single Kings game. And, yes, we have one regular season Kings game left, and that is Sunday against the Denver Nuggets in Denver, and it's an early game.
They're going to be signing people off the street to play in that game. No one's playing in that game for either team.
Yeah, it's an early game, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Calvin and I will be live directly after the game here on YouTube and on Twitter Spaces, and we'll be giving Calvin a brand new haircut. So if you want to vote on that, make sure you vote here on the poll in the chat. You can also vote on Twitter. And also, I always forget, but shout out to everybody that's listening to the audio version of this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. You guys are awesome. We appreciate all of your support. And shout out to everybody that's here in the chat currently on YouTube. Ray is here, Alfie Man, Nate, Christian, Tom, Amir is here. Good to see you all and welcome in. Ray wants to talk about the Clippers, Calvin. He says, do you think the Clippers lose tomorrow? That's exactly what I wanted to talk about too, because with Golden State winning tonight, they moved up into the 5th seed in the Western Conference.
Yes.
So the Kings will not be facing them as of right now in the first round of the NBA playoffs, but we'll see what happens. They have 1 game left against the Portland Trailblazers, and the Clippers have 2 games left. So there's going to be some jockeying from position there. Calvin, what are your thoughts on Ray's question? You think the Clippers lose tomorrow?
They're playing the Blazers?
Let me double check.
Is that right?
I believe so. One of their games is against the Blazers.
It's going to be hard to lose to that team. I mean, that's another team that's not playing anybody at this point.
Blazers tomorrow, Suns on Sunday.
Blazers tomorrow, Suns on Sunday.
And the Warriors play the Blazers on Sunday.
Yes, they do. I would say they're going to try to win. I'm not totally sure. I mean, look, it's the NBA. I mean, if you try to lose games just because you want to avoid playing a team in the first round, it's kind of the same mentality, I think, as worrying about who that first round opponent is going to be. You're probably not going to win anything if that's the way that you're operating.
I mean, we're fans, Calvin. We're not. I mean, maybe the players aren't thinking this way, but we can think this way. We're the fans.
That's true.
Like, who do you want to see the Kings face in the first round? And don't give me this, I don't care. Who do you want to see them face?
I mean, I've said it all along. I think the Clippers and the Warriors are probably the best first. They're definitely no ordinary first round. I mean, I don't know what an ordinary first round team is. Everybody plays in the first round no matter what your seed is. So
yeah,
I'm not sure what that means exactly, but
I think what he means is that as a top 4 seed that has home court advantage, you're expected to play against like a lesser team.
Well,
and
yeah.
So playing against like a Golden State Warriors or a Clippers, you didn't expect them to be this low in the standings, right? You thought that they would be a home court advantage team, and that by getting the
That's
3rd seed
true.
like the Kings had, you'd be facing a little bit of a lesser team. I think that's what they're referring to.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the way it shakes out. Look, I mean, the Warriors were the 6th seed last season, were they not?
I don't remember.
I believe they were.
But yeah, they were not a favorite.
Or was that the 4th? No, they were the 5th seed maybe.
Let me double
I think
check.
they were the 5th seed actually, but every team probably has an opponent that they would rather play one than the other. I mean, if you're the Clippers and you're trying to lose so that you play the Kings in the first round, I mean, the Kings were 3-1 against them this season, and now you might not have Paul George going into that series. I know Zubats didn't play in those 2 games.
Were the
2 of
3rd
those
seed
games
last year.
They were
won
the 3rd seed?
53 games.
Oh, Denver was the 6th seed. Is that right?
Phoenix,
Yes.
Memphis,
That's
Golden
right.
State, Dallas, who lost today, Utah, Denver, Minnesota, and then the Clippers. Yeah, didn't make it.
I think it's just unprecedented, the fact that all these teams, if you go all the way down to 10, and even a couple of weeks ago, if you went all the way down to 12 in the Western Conference, were so close to each other, and it was such a crapshoot basically for who, not just who was going to play each other, but who was going to be in and who was going to be out. It's something that you haven't really seen to this magnitude, maybe, at least in recent memory. So I think people are making more of a deal about it because there's so many different scenarios involved.
The reason we're making a big deal about this, Calvin, is because at this point last year, we were just talking about what we were going to do this
but
summer.
we're not even talking about the Kings anymore. We're talking about other teams trying to jockey around for different positions because of their, whether they want to be in the 6th spot or the 5th spot or what, or not miss or be in the play-in or, at this point in the season, you've got the top half of the conference in both conferences that's starting to rest all their guys now, and everybody else is duking it out.
Yep.
You still want to be playing good basketball. So to go out there this late in the year and try to lose a game because you're worried about your playoff seeding, if I'm a head coach, that is absolutely not the thing that I'm looking to do.
I don't.
Not even close.
I don't know if anybody's actively trying to do that, but who knows? Who knows? But the Eastern Conference is officially set in terms of the standings. You have Milwaukee, Boston, Philadelphia, Cleveland, New York, and Brooklyn. And guys, we're going to get to tonight's game. Let's just get through this part. But like I said, the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Cavs, the Knicks, and the Nets are all locked into the top 6 seeds here. Kyrie's probably pretty bummed that he left Brooklyn at this point. And then you have Miami.
He could have played tonight and tried to get his team in.
Right. Miami, Atlanta, Toronto, and Chicago are the 4 teams in the play-in bracket. As far as the Western Conference, you have Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, Phoenix are all locked in. Dallas got eliminated, as you mentioned tonight. He did not play, Kyrie?
He sat.
Why?
Well, including 4 other guys. I have yet to see the official reason for why he sat, but
Interesting. Very weird.
they had to win this game in order to stay alive, and he didn't play.
And they're out. So you have Golden State. You have the LA Clippers, the LA Lakers, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Minnesota Timberwolves, all jockeying for a play-in or a playoff seed. Oklahoma City is the only one that's guaranteed to not be out of the play-in tournament. In terms of being 5 or 6, they're locked in that play-in tournament. But we still got some moving going on here in the next couple days. Going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the last day. That was, I think, a foregone conclusion weeks ago because of how close this was and how many games they still all had left against each other.
Yeah,
so
pretty
many
wild.
important games.
Pretty wild.
You weren't really going to know what was going to happen until the end.
Christian says, when are you guys coming down to Sacramento? Calvin, you leave Wednesday night?
I leave Thursday.
Oh, Thursday?
During the day. I get there Thursday night.
Okay.
And Barry gets there on Friday, and we'll be there the whole weekend.
Yeah, I take the red eye Thursday night. I get there Friday morning. I'm going to be spending Friday day with my grandpa, and then I'll be free Friday night. Saturday is picnic day. Sunday and Monday I fly back. Depending on when the Kings play, we'll be, jockeying, trying to figure out exactly what day we're going to be out and about. I mean, we're going to be out and about the whole time, but I'm just saying in terms of being locked into the game because, I'm into the game, Calvin. We still need to get our tickets as well.
Yes, we do.
Hey, F you, Timmy. Get out of here, Warriors fan.
It's funny when he makes an appearance, right?
Right? Only appearance of the season. Shout out to
Probably
Timmy.
not. Maybe it was only comment.
Love you, Timmy.
What's
Just
up, Timmy?
kidding. We got to get back on the basketball court, Timmy. Anyways, Calvin, let's talk about tonight's game before we jump into all the other things, because I know we do want to talk about them all. But, hey, 119-97, Kings sat a bunch of players. Guys like Alex Len got more minutes tonight. We got to see Rashawn Holmes play tonight. Calvin, give me your first thoughts on the game tonight.
I think my first thoughts are just what a difference a year makes, right? Because this time last year we were watching the same group or, same types of players play, all the second and third stringers. No Domas, no De'Aaron Fox.
Yep.
But they were out of it. And this year, even when the Warriors go on a big run and the Kings, all of a sudden you realize that they're not going to win this game, you sit back and you're like, oh, well, they're going to play in the playoffs next week, so who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
It's just an incredibly different feeling watching a game like this late in the season, when you don't get to see a lot of your favorite players play, as opposed to not just last season, but the last 16 seasons.
Yeah, and I know the Kings lost tonight, Calvin, but I got this urge to light the beam. I just feel like I should light the beam tonight. But I want to hear from you guys in the chat. I mean, we got a couple games left of the regular season, or one game left, not including tonight, of the regular season. And then we got some playoff games. We might not have many chances to light the beam. You guys want me to light the beam tonight, or is that jinx the Kings? Let me know in the chat. Definitely don't want to be responsible for any of that stuff. But it's good to see Davion Mitchell get some run tonight. Unfortunately, he did not do it offensively for the Kings. 2 of 13 from the field, 1 of 6 1 of 6 from three-point range. He almost shot as bad as Jordan Poole tonight. Jordan Poole.
Almost, but not quite.
Right? 0 for Jordan
I think
Poole?
he did officially go 0
I think he had 8 points, right? Was that? Let me double check here before I talk some smack.
0 for 10.
0 for 10.
But 8 of 9 at the free throw line.
Yeah, wild for Jordan Poole. But, I mean, honestly, Calvin, this, to me, I missed the first quarter. I came in the second quarter, which, as Alfie Man said, was the best quarter of this game. The Kings were down by 17. They came back. They seemed like they were in it. They were playing good basketball. And then the third and the fourth quarters came, and the Warriors were just like, nope, we need this game. We're playing our starters. We need to win. And the rest is history.
The rest is history, yes.
In terms of the box score tonight, Harrison Barnes played 29 minutes. This dude is, we call him Mr. Consistency. This is 81st start of the season. Wow, that is incredible. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range. Keegan Murray adds another 3 onto his record, 1 of 5 from three-point range, but only 4 of 13 from the field tonight. 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists in 34 minutes of action. Alex Len gets the start at the center position tonight. Alex Len, 2 of 3 from the field, 5 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. I did like what I saw out of Alex Len tonight, and some defensive prowess as well. Davion also gets the start, plays 28 minutes, 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists. 1 of 6, as I mentioned, from three-point range, 2 of 13 from the field. Terrence Davis starts at the shooting guard position, 32 minutes of action, 4 of 16. I mean, I'm seeing a trend here, Calvin, of guys not shooting well for the Kings. But 4 of 16 from the field for him, 2 of 10 from three-point range, 10 points, a rebound, and 3 assists for Terrence Davis tonight. Trey Lyles, dude, probably one of the best performances of the night goes to Trey Lyles in terms of the Sacramento Kings. Only 22 minutes of action, but 15 points, 8 rebounds, an assist, 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 7 from three-point range. Chemezi puts up 15 points on 5 of 8 shooting in 17 minutes of action, along with 8 rebounds. Rashawn Holmes also plays, 15 minutes for Rashawn tonight, 5 of 11 from the field. And Calvin, he makes his only three-pointer of the night, 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists for Rashawn. Kessler Edwards, 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in 23 minutes. PJ Dozier, probably the most minutes he's played in a game this year, 20 minutes, 3 of 10, 1 of 6 from three-point range, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Keon Ellis, 1 point, 1 rebound, 4 minutes of action. That was a lot.
That was a lot.
Trying to get it all out there. I got to keep all my Kings fans well informed, dude. I want them to know.
Empty stats there.
Yeah, but I want them to, dude. I want people that after they watch this show, I want you to be able to go to a bar, maybe today, tomorrow, the next day, and I want you to sound smarter than every other basketball fan out there. Where you're like,
you don't think any of these guys have the ESPN app?
Rashawn Holmes made it 3. Calvin, there's different types of learners out there. You know, there's visual learners, there's audio learners. Sometimes it helps when you hear somebody repeat it. But I don't know. I'm here to help you guys. Calvin, take it away.
Well, take it away. You want me to talk about the box score some more so we can make everybody
apparently
smarter?
It doesn't help when I talk, so go for it.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time, of course. I mean, the Kings didn't shoot well. That's the thing that pops out the most from the box score.
38% from the field.
Yeah, it was horrible. But I think if you're the Kings, what can you take away from this game? Number one, you talked about Trey Lyles. The dude's been very, very stellar for them all season long off the bench. The last, maybe 10 to 12 games or so, he hasn't quite been himself. But he had a bounce-back game today, which is a really positive thing to look for going into the playoffs. They're going to need him. They're going to need everybody on this bench unit. And to see Metu play well, be efficient. I mean, Kevon Looney really could not stay with him. And Metu only has one move, jab, step, left, go right. But Looney didn't do anything to stop it. Metu's just a little bit quicker, a little bit more athletic. That could potentially be a good matchup, in the postseason if these two teams are going to go head-to-head. You have to like, other matchups in this game, in this series that we can talk about later. But I think that this was, I've said it all along, I felt like it was important to get guys rest these last couple of games. I know they're going to have, a week off or 6 days off when the play-in tournament's going on. but every extra day counts, and every extra moment that you don't risk playing them where they could get injured. Maybe Fox tweaks his hamstring, something like that.
I mean,
I think it's important. So
tonight,
this was a good thing, I think, overall for the Kings to get these other guys minutes and have Lyles have a bounce back
tonight
game.
we saw the Warriors up 20, and they still had the starters out there for a while. Yeah. Did that surprise you?
Not really. I mean, the Warriors bench is not very.
Yeah,
they play guys, but they don't have a huge, very deep bench. Even Moses Moody
minute of being out there and potentially
on
getting injured. And I was watching the game, and they were up 20-something. You still had Thompson, Curry out there.
Well, again, you have to think the Warriors have had a very opposite season from Sacramento. The Kings' starting lineup has played more minutes together than any other starting lineup in the NBA. The Warriors have had a lot of guys in and out due to injury this season. Past couple of seasons, we talk about playing your best basketball at the right time. They finally got Gary Payton back. They want to play him with Steph and Clay.
He's looking so good, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do the same thing with Andrew Wiggins. I don't know if they do it before the end of the regular season, but the Warriors are in that mode of trying to – they have to win, first of all, in order to avoid sliding out of the top six. And they also are trying to get some of that mojo back from last season's postseason runs. So
very true.
I'm not surprised to see that they played starters big minutes.
Yeah. Man, Gary Payton, he is playing extremely well, Christian. He's the one guy that I really wish the Kings made a move for at the deadline, because I think that he really could have helped this basketball team. We also see Dante DiVincenzo playing well tonight also.
He's played well for them all year.
Looking at the team stats here, I mean, there's no wonder the Kings lost the game, right? If I would have told you no Fox, no Sabonis, no Monk, no Herter, you're like, hey, the Kings lost this game, right? Straight up, Kings lost. But then what if I told you, Calvin, and as I go down, dude, these stats get worse. The Kings shot 38.8% from the field, 28% from the three-point line, 55% from the free throw line.
Yeah, not good.
They get out-rebounded by the Warriors 40-47. Only 24 assists tonight for the Kings. 12 turnovers. Wow, the Warriors had 24 turnovers tonight. That's the only reason why the Kings were in this game at any point.
That's been an Achilles heel for them all year long, and another thing that will benefit Sacramento if these two teams play each other in the first round.
Biggest lead for the Warriors, 24 points. Biggest lead for the Kings,
goose egg.
0. That's quite unfortunate. Calvin, I mean, I watched the second quarter of this game. Like I said, I missed the first quarter. I watched second, third, fourth. You know, on YouTube TV, when you hit join a game, and sometimes it gives you options of like the network that you want to watch it on.
Yeah.
I mistakenly watched the second quarter on the Warriors network.
Nice.
And you know how those announcers just drive me crazy. Do you know who they are? It's Azubuike, right?
It's Kalena Azubuike is the color commentator, and it's Bob something is the play-by-play. Timmy knows. Timmy, who's the play-by-play guy for the Warriors?
Timmy, your announcers are so cringe. It's bad, dude. Like, maybe it's just me. I get a headache listening to those guys.
They can be tough to listen to.
Bob,
sure.
Especially Bob. Bob's the worst. Worst announcer in the NBA.
Oh, wow.
Worst. I
don't know. I don't know who the Clippers announcers are, but he's pretty bad too.
Yeah, they are. But I'm just saying, Pelicans, worst team name. Suns, worst mascot. Warriors, worst announcer in the NBA. It's really, really bad. Really bad. Alfie Man says a good practice lesson for the Kings second string team. Yeah, I agree. We also saw Bobby Jackson in the house tonight sitting with the coaching staff. Calvin, I love the connection between the Kings and the Stockton Kings. I love what they're building. And, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I don't pay attention to a lot of G League teams, especially other teams and their connections. But it just seems like the connection between the Sacramento Kings and the Stockton Kings is very fluid. We've seen players go back and forth. Obviously, Vivek and his daughter are very connected. And now we saw Bobby Jackson tonight with the Kings coaching staff. Like, I just love the continuity between these two teams. And I think that as the Stockton Kings continue to grow, it's going to help the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, how could it not? And who, I have no idea what the number on this is, but, how many G League affiliates have a former player of their, the real club or the Big Brother club coaching that team. That's more part of the connection that you talk about, and he's clearly trying to get these guys ready to play in the NBA, which of course is the goal of all G League teams. But I think that the Kings are going about it in a really good way, and Bobby Jackson is a great fit for that role.
Yeah, and he's got connections, obviously, with the Kings. He's got connections with Doug Christie, who's on the coaching staff. They did play together, so there's connections all over the place. But I just want to shout them out. I really love what they're doing. Shout out to Jeff the Lefty. He said the Kings had a 0% chance at 50 wins, and he is
correction,
correct.
Jeff. They do now.
Yeah,
they did have a chance at 50 wins. But
he is correct. But, hey, they could still get 49 wins like Martin said.
That's true.
But Calvin thinks that Sunday's game, everybody's sitting. What does that mean?
It's true. I'm thinking about flying to Denver
Who's
on
got
Sunday
a cheaper
because
bench?
I've got my Go Sacs jersey on, and they might just put me in.
Who's got a better bench, deeper bench?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, the Nuggets do. I think both teams have a pretty deep bench. Denver's got guys that I really like a lot, and some of them just haven't even really played much for them this year. Peyton Watson is a guy that's definitely on my radar. 20-year-old rookie from UCLA. He's only appeared in like 21 games for them this season, but he has a lot of upside. 6'8" wing, with great length, can shoot, can handle the ball. If he becomes a really good two-way player, watch out. And then they got Reggie Jackson, a guy that they signed out of the buyout market, who I know you don't like, but that's just another horse in the stable. So both teams have a deep bench, I would say.
Yeah.
The Nuggets have a lot of young players there's a lot of potential with them, but you really don't know kind of what maybe the ceiling is or what level they're going to get to. Yeah. Christian Brown is a guy that's making big waves right now. He had a really good game in Phoenix last night, playing big-time minutes. He went to Kansas. He's a really, really good young player. So the Nuggets, just like the Kings, have a lot of these young guys who they're really excited about.
Yeah. Dellavedova, broken hand or is it broken finger?
I'm not fully sure. Broken.
You don't have the ESPN
something,
app?
and I have it. Apparently you don't.
Shout out to Diehard Fred. Says full strength Sacramento is not what anyone wants to play in a series. The league knows they're dangerous. All the outside noise is media talking. Nobody on a team is calling out the Kings straight up. Calvin, you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think it's easy for us to say that, having watched them all year long. If you ask the casual basketball fan, that they're not going to agree with that. But again, we've been over this. Sacramento's got to win in the postseason for everybody to give them their respect. Yeah. But on the flip side of that, the Kings are going to have a lot of bulletin board material to work with. Timmy, you should watch every show. We've already been over this.
Dellavedova, broken index finger.
Broken index finger.
Had surgery, successful, should be good.
My prediction, Timmy, is that the Kings sweep the Warriors in the first round, and they go on. They go on to the Western Conference Finals from there.
My prediction is that the Golden State Warriors will. This will be the last year they win over 40 games for 5 years.
Wow,
they're on the decline.
I think he was asking for a prediction on the Kings, but
Kings are going to win the title. There's my prediction. How's that, Timmy? Baby steps. Yeah, but no, I do have to say, Calvin, one thing I really enjoyed about this game was watching the Kings leave Draymond Green wide open at the three-point shot, and he just bricks it. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's like he just forgot how to shoot threes, because there was a moment there where he could make a three every once in a while. Now he's not even close.
Well, there was a moment where he made more than once in a while threes. He was a pretty steady three-point shooter for a couple of years there. But when you play with guys that are, 1,000 million billion times better shooters than you are, you end up just passing the ball and stop shooting. That's just the way it goes.
2015-16 season, he was shooting 38% from three.
Not bad.
3 attempts a game. Very limited, but not bad at all. And then
effective.
Slowly dips down here.
Effective when needed.
He's at 30% this year on less than 2 attempts. Yeah, just not so good. What do you think is going to happen with Draymond at the end of the year, Cal? You think he's out? Think he's gone? Is he going to the Pistons?
I just don't see the Warriors being willing to spend, the type of money.
Can they? I don't know if they can.
Exactly. That's
with
the
new
point.
CBA. Yeah.
I saw the projected salary cap for next year is like 106. And they haven't officially made these numbers yet, but projected salary cap is like 162 million, and then the luxury tax line is going to be something like 7 million above that or something. So the Warriors have a lot of money committed already.
Draymond Green has a player option next year of $27 million. Dude, the Warriors' salary is $211 million next year.
It's wild.
$211 million. Jordan Poole starts his new max contract. He's making $28 million. Wiggins makes $24 million on his new deal. You got $43 million for Klay Thompson last year of his deal, and $51.9 million for Steph Curry.
Crazy.
That is out of this world, dude. Like, I can't fathom.
Can't say that he doesn't deserve it, but
I can't even fathom. How do they hold this place together?
What place together?
The Warriors.
Well, have you been to that new arena?
Man, that's wild. They're definitely gonna look like a much different team next year. That is for sure. Guys, you're gonna have to text Nick. Nick's not here. Yeah. He's not on Twitter Spaces.
Otherwise you're stuck with us.
He's not available. But hey, I got Tanvir here. You guys want to hear from Tanvir? Well, we'll wait. We'll wait for him in the chat. No, we don't even need to wait. We know they want Tanvir. Tanvir, what's up? I don't know, dude. Why are you coming out of my phone and you're not on the Roadcaster? Hold on. I screwed it up, dude. Have you been hearing us this whole time or no? Oh. Uh-oh. Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you better. Dude, I just screwed up the whole podcast today.
Oh, man. Oh, well. It happened.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're here. Another day.
Oh, well, we're here.
How you feeling, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, it's good, man. Ain't not worried about this loss at all, man. Not at all. We played great, man. The team played awesome, man. Can't say anything about it. Just wish we could have hit those free throws, though. Missing those kind of hurt, but it's all good.
Dude, we missed a lot of every shot, dude. Even threes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of threes.
A lot of threes. Hey, a lot of threes. Okay. Well, are you ready to hang out with us next weekend, Tanvir?
Well, I have plans, actually. I have plans, man.
What?
I got plans, man.
You're going to the Kings
Won't
game,
be able
right?
to. I'm trying to get in. I won't get the tickets, though, but
okay.
Probably go to a restaurant in Sac.
All right, we'll definitely see you at the Kings game then.
For sure.
Even if we don't get in, dude, we can watch outside.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, how are you just feeling about the overall state of the Kings? You got one game left on the regular season.
Yeah.
What else is there to do for the Kings to get ready for the playoffs?
Hey man, just do what they're doing, man. Finish this last game out. Let's get ready for the first round of the playoffs, man. That shit's about to be amazing, man. It's going to be loud as hell, packed. Man, I can't wait, man. I'm so excited. This fan base deserves all of it.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, there's not really much you can do as a fan, right? Sit back, let Mike Brown do his thing. We saw a ton of guys play tonight. We've been seeing guys like Alex Len get a lot more minutes. Calvin, what are your thoughts in terms of like Alex Len playing more for this team? Because I'm a little mixed, right? First off, I'm like, Alex Len hasn't played pretty much the whole season. The Kings have been really, really good basketball team. Why mess with what's working now? However, I do understand, the need for resting players right now, trying some other things, getting some looks for other players, get confidence up for other players. But then, like, once the playoffs start, is it just Alex Len back to the bench and you don't play him again because you want to go with the lineup that things were working out during the season?
Playoffs is, very much about matchups. I do think that depending on who the Kings draw in that first round will have a large say in how many minutes Alex Len plays. That being said, I mean, he's given you good minutes in the time that he's been asked to play down the stretch of the season. It's nice to know that you have a guy who has a lot of size, can contest shots at the rim, handle some of the bigger bodies in the NBA. If you end up playing a team like Minnesota, for example, it's great to know that you have that available. I think that we're thinking about this a little too much, though. Sabonis is going to play 40-plus minutes in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter who the opponent is. He's going to play. You just need a guy that you can rely on to come in and give you a few good minutes here or there, or if Domas ends up getting in early foul trouble and you have to go a little bit deeper into the bench, that's what you're looking for here. And I think Alex Len is capable of doing that. We're talking about something like 10 to 13 minutes a game. He's definitely capable of doing that. But I absolutely think it's going to be matchup dependent. If they end up playing the Warriors in the first round, you're probably not going to see a lot. You saw a ton of him tonight because Domas didn't play.
Yeah.
But I think you could see Rashawn Holmes. You could see a lot of Metu in that series. So Alex Len playing guaranteed or in every game in that series is certainly not a done deal, I would say.
Shout out to Patrick and Sass for joining in here. Also, Amir, good to see you guys. I mean, are you taking Len over Rashawn Holmes at this point?
I'm not really sure which one to go with either way. I mean,
that's where I'm at too.
Neither one of them has been a staple in the lineup from any part of the season, really, even these last 6 games or so. I think that you could potentially see either one, depending on who they end up playing in the first round. But to me, this is not a we need this person to come in and give us X amount of points, or we need them to do X, Y, and Z. We just need somebody to give Sabonis a break. And whether or not they play somebody that has a huge lineup like the Lakers, who got guys that are big coming off the bench, or you play the Warriors, who Kevon Looney is really their only big man. And even he is, he's been guarding big men for a long time in this league.
Yep.
But outside of that, I mean, you've got Kuminga and Anthony Lamb. Those guys are not big men. They're 6'8", 6'9". So I think you would see Metu, you would see maybe Rashawn Holmes, but it's only for sparing amounts of minutes.
What about you, Tanvir? You like Alex Len or Rashawn Holmes?
I like Alex Len, man. He's been amazing, man, so far. I like the way he's been playing.
What do you like about him better? Just the fact that he's been playing better lately, or do you think that his game better complements the second unit?
Like how he for the second unit, how he could come in and block those shots at times. His defense has been pretty nice, getting the rebounds. So I have no complaints over that. Alex Len's been nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely more of a rim protector than a guy like Rashawn Holmes. He's a little bit bigger body. But I'm so mixed. I just feel like it depends on the matchup, and maybe that's a cop-out for me. But I think that Rashawn Holmes can run the small ball lineup a little bit better, and Alex Len's going to give you a bigger lineup. That's kind of where I'm at.
To me, Alex Len is better suited playing with the starters than he is with the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, when the second unit is in, who's the guy that primarily handles the ball? Malik Monk.
Yeah.
Right.
You give him Metu and Rashawn Holmes, those guys are lob threats all day.
Yep.
That, I think, is a much better pair. Whereas if you were to play, and this is why it's key that Mike Brown staggers minutes, right, with Sabonis and Fox.
Mm-hmm.
If you play Alex Len out there with Kevin Huerter and De'Aaron Fox, that's a positive for those guys because pick and roll is really good for them. They're able to create off the dribble for themselves, for others. They're both really good mid-range shooters. And there's always, of course, a dump-off pass, and Alex Len can get to the basket maybe for a hook shot or something like that. But I think that Len is, for his skill set, he's much better off playing alongside Fox and Huerter than he is playing with Davion and Malik.
Okay. I feel you on that. We got some people here chiming in the chat on Calvin's haircut. As you guys can see, we have a poll going on in the chat for Cal's new hairdo on Sunday the 9th. We got Mohawk at 20% right now. Purple Beam is leading the pack at 48%.
I want to hear what you guys in the chat think a Purple Beam haircut is.
We got the bowl cut at 28%, and then we have the skullet at 4%. I saw
Sorry,
someone
Gothan.
in the chat say Zoolander haircut. I believe it was Gilbert. How about a Zoolander? I feel like I kind of got a Zoolander looking haircut going right now. Maybe my hair is not quite long enough.
I mean, that's great. It's probably too little, too late now. If you add another hairstyle in there, there's no way it's going to get enough votes between now and Sunday to overtake any of these. Mohawk and Bowl Cut have over 50 votes each. I did the math after the last show.
So yeah, you heard it, Gilbert. If you want, you got to go on Twitter and vote for other with like 80 alt accounts, and maybe you can get towards the top. But yeah, Calvin, you want to give us a rundown of what the votes are looking like right now?
It's a tight race. Sorry, my computer went asleep.
Let's do the numbers here.
It's looking like the Western Conference playoff route, actually. This is not including today's show or today's votes, but as of the last show, and this is including the Twitter votes also.
So we're just waiting on Florida.
We're just waiting on Florida. Bowl Cut is in the lead just so narrowly with 53 votes over Mohawk with 52 votes. Okay. Skullet has 36 votes, and here's where it gets confusing because we had other for 2 shows as a category, and then you had Buzz Cut for 1 show, and now Purple Beam for 2 shows. So you could maybe combine all of those into other, or I don't know how we're going to do that. So other has 14 votes. Buzz Cut has 9 votes. And Purple Beam is going to have a lot more votes after this show, but it has 7 votes.
I think Purple Beam has 14, so 21 votes now.
Yeah.
For Purple Beam.
Still a long way away from getting to Bowl Cut.
Pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Bowl Cut's the leader right now.
It looks like it.
What's 25% of 28? That's 7? 7 more votes.
7 more.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So it's a tight race between Bowl Cut and Mohawk.
Gilbert said, just got a Mike Brown tattoo. Shout out to Gilbert. Post it on Twitter. It didn't happen, Gilbert. Tag us on Twitter or it didn't happen.
Yep. We need the receipts.
But, hey, we're definitely down. Dude, I'm down to get a Kings tattoo when I'm in Sacramento if somebody will come with me because I'm definitely down. But anyways, Calvin, anything else you want to mention tonight about the game? I said at the top of the show, Kings lose 97-119 to the Golden State Warriors. Bunch of Kings sat tonight. The Warriors really needed this game. Not so much for the Sacramento Kings, but any final thoughts on the game?
I just think that despite the fact that it was a loss and a bad loss at that, you did see a lot of reasons why the Warriors would be a good first-round playoff matchup for the Kings here. I mean, we've talked about the obvious ones, size, the Warriors' terrible road record, but turnovers have been a big problem for them all year long. The Kings definitely play much, much better when they're able to force turnovers, get out in space and transition. Warriors had 24 turnovers today and still won by whatever it was, 20-plus points. That is hard to do. against any team.
23?
I think they're
22.
definitely, Andrew Wiggins coming back is a big wild card or question mark. He's missed a lot of games. How in shape is he going to be? How ready is he for playoff basketball? How much of an impact does he have right away? What's his shot look like? If he's able to knock down outside shots and be the guy that he was defensively for them last year, of course, that changes stuff a lot for Golden State. But there are a lot of areas that I think the Kings can attack on this team. I mean, Kevon Looney has been a really, really rock-solid guy for this franchise for a long time. He's not stopping Sabonis in the paint. And who do they have outside of that? Nobody to go against that matchup. I love that matchup for the Kings. I think they can attack Jordan Poole defensively. He's a guy that thinks he's a superstar in this league already.
Yeah.
Not in my mind. I mean, he's a very, very great offensive player. Little streaky still at times, but a very dangerous offensive player. You're not a superstar in the NBA, in my opinion, unless you can do it on both sides of the ball. I think that's a very easy matchup to attack offensively for Sacramento. And then even with Wiggins back, who does he guard? Do they try to put him on Fox for somebody that has, more length, make it a little challenging for him? If that's the case, I'm going to Kevin Huerter. I'm going to all these guys all day to create off the dribble. I think the Kings can score a lot of points on this team. And I don't know what it is about the Warriors, but for a team that's won 4 titles in, 8 years, 9 years?
Yeah, something like that.
They just have this attitude about them nowadays, like the league owes them something.
Yeah.
I think you saw it a little bit tonight. They were up big, but they still looked rattled.
Yeah, they
Jordan
act
Poole
like the underdog.
looks rattled all the time, or he gets into it with officials all the time. We know Draymond Green is one, play away from going absolutely psycho at any moment.
Yep.
For a
great way to
championship
describe it.
team or a team that has all this championship pedigree with it, you saw it last year. They started talking a lot more and going into this season with the Memphis Grizzlies, all that stuff. I'm not saying the Warriors are not a good team or they're not capable of pulling off another run. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are, 2 of the best to ever do it, and they're very, very dangerous. But for a team with all of that championship prowess and pedigree, they seem like they can crack a little bit.
Yeah. They don't have the confidence and the swag that you would imagine from a team. And
not to mention the bench is thin. I mean, DiVincenzo's played great for them all year. Kuminga has taken a couple steps forward. But this is a matchup that I think it would be a really exciting series, probably a lot of points. But you can see areas where the Kings can definitely not just attack, but win and have big advantages on this team.
Yeah, I mean, maybe yes, Dennis, Paul George is still out. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that point, Calvin. Like, they don't look like a dynasty in terms of the way they act. And maybe it's just because I'm used to a team like the Spurs that was great for so long, and they just have this, like, confidence and swagger to them where it's like you don't need to talk back because your game does the talking. And I feel like Golden State's did that for a couple years, and then they've kind of gotten away from that. And so I really don't know what's happening with them. But you mentioned Andrew Wiggins. He's the one that really pops out most to me. This is a guy who last played on February 13th. He didn't play tonight. He's not going to play on their final game on Sunday. So it's like you haven't played in 2 months, and then you're just going to, like, jump in there and get ready for playoff action. Yeah. Probably not going to start, right? Would you start him?
I would.
You would start him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. I was actually talking to a Warriors fan at the bar today about Andrew Wiggins, and we were talking about the rumors about, what happened. He thought it had something to do with Wiggins' father, maybe health or something like that. And then you have your theory that you heard as well.
I heard that from somebody on this show. I forget who it was, but
okay.
All I have to say was Ivan or Progressive G.
All I have to say is it's interesting that the last game that he played was the day before Valentine's Day. And then there's that joke going around, right? That like when Valentine's Day, you find out like if your significant other has other significant others, right?
Yeah.
It's like whether you find out if you're the real one or not. But I just feel for Andrew Wiggins. Really, really tough situation for him. I hope he can bounce back. One of my favorite players, and love the nickname Maple Jordan. My favorite nickname.
It's a good one.
In the NBA, Maple Jordan.
And it's real easy for people to point out and say, well, the Kings were 1-3 against the Warriors this year.
Yeah.
But 3 of those 4 games they played in the first 15 games of the season before the Kings really were the Kings that we've come to know this season. And then this last game, they didn't play anybody. So I think you throw that record completely out the window.
I agree. Tanvir, I see you spamming up some purple hearts. I love it. What are your thoughts on the Warriors?
I don't know what to think about them, bro. They're in
do
their
you
own world
agree
right now, man.
with Calvin and I that they don't seem like a championship dynasty team like the way they act?
100%. I don't see that anymore either. They lost that, man.
It's like they lost their
think.
mojo or something.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think just by seeing us, they're just scared. That's why.
Yeah, you saw it a little bit last year, and it was almost like I felt like last year they weren't completely confident with themselves, and then when they won the title, it was almost like a surprise to themselves that they were able to do it. And so then they started talking all this smack. They're like, yeah, we are that team. We're back, all this. And then as soon as I saw that Jordan Poole, Draymond Green incident happen, I called it here on the show. I said, this is the end of the Warriors dynasty right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they're in the playoffs, but I really don't see them doing any damage in the playoffs this year.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah, Gilbert says it was the punch. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question for you, Tanvir. I mean, you heard me mention Golden State's salary cap situation, right? They are paying a bunch of money to players. Draymond is pretty much in control of his own destiny. He's got a $27 million player option for next year, but he is 33 years old. Do you think that he opts out to sign a long-term deal with another team, or do you think he opts in because he doesn't want to leave the Warriors?
Well, that's a good question, Barry. That's a really good question.
What would you do if you were him?
Just stay with the Warriors, to be honest. Finish
would
that
opt in?
contract out. Yeah.
What about you, Cal?
I'd opt out because honestly, I think this is the last chance that he gets a real meaningful contract in the NBA.
I mean, do you see a team that can pay him the money that he wants and give him a chance to compete for a title?
Don't think so.
Probably not, but that doesn't mean that there are not situations out there that he would be in favor of who can give him money, i.e. the Detroit Pistons.
What about the Lakers?
I mean,
that was the joke,
they're not going
right?
to be able to pay him.
But that was the joke, right?
The
Where
long-term deal.
He's like, I'm going to go play with LeBron if you guys aren't going to pay
I'm sure
me.
he would want to, but he's going to have to accept less money if that's the case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in that because I know
that's interesting.
By getting rid of Westbrook and getting D'Angelo Russell, a guy that they probably want to re-sign, they might have a little bit of flexibility here, you know, in terms of bringing on Draymond Green and then re-signing D'Angelo Russell. You have LeBron James. Holy cow, he's making a lot of money next year. $53 million next year. Anthony Davis is making $40 million next year. So that's $93 million between those two guys. That is a lot of money.
That's insane, bro.
Right? Malik Beasley, $16 million, but that's a team option. So they could say, sorry, Malik, we don't want you, which I don't know.
Or they could try to rework his deal.
He's 26.
Yeah, or they could do that.
He's only 26. Mo Bamba's partially guaranteed $10 million next year. He's only 24. Then you got Jared Vanderbilt and a couple other young guys. So They could potentially offer Draymond Green, I want to say $15 to $20 million.
They could, but then how much money are they going to have left to build the rest of their team? It's always the same thing with a LeBron James-led team, right?
100%.
It's him and probably two other guys that you're going to commit a lot of money to, and then you're basically just kind of scavenging for those mid-level exception players, the one-year deals, the shooters, and all that other stuff that you can put around him or around them. So it's Draymond. That's certainly a potential landing spot for him. But the question is, if Detroit offers him $20+ million a year for 4 years or something like that, would you rather do that and go play at home and in front of all your friends and family and stuff every day, but probably lose a bunch?
Yeah.
Or do you want one more shot at a title where you're going to have to make way less than that?
Right.
And they're probably not going to offer him a long-term deal either if he goes to the Lakers. It'll be a 1 year with maybe a player option or something for the second year.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's not how LeBron James teams are built. You don't give guys especially guys that are that old, long-term contracts.
Well, his deal would probably line up with LeBron, and LeBron's got 2 years left on his deal, so it would probably be 2 years or something like that. But also, I think another thing to mention too is the fact that a lot of these guys, like, their window to make money is very limited. We've already seen Draymond Green have his own podcast. He's been on ESPN, all these kind of things. So I feel like Draymond Green can get another big contract not in basketball, and that's being an analyst or something like that. So maybe the money isn't all that matters to him in terms of the final years in the NBA for him. Maybe it's competing.
That's true. It's still not the same amount of money that they're paying in the NBA right now, though. Yeah. Whatever that contract is for broadcasting, it's not the same amount of money that you could make for 4 years.
He's not getting the Tom Brady deal?
No, he's not.
Okay, interesting. Somebody mentioned the Dallas.
But even the Tom Brady deal, that's over a span of 10 years.
Yeah.
You could make that $100 million in 4 years in the NBA.
That's true. Someone mentioned Dallas. Maybe he could go play with Dallas, which prompted me to look up why Kyrie Irving didn't play tonight. I'm seeing a couple different articles here. One from the Dallas Morning News, and it says, have the Mavericks decided to organically tank? They rested Christian Wood, they rested Kyrie Irving, and Luka Doncic only played 1 quarter in the game today. An interesting thing they brought up, the Dallas Mavericks first-round pick this year is top 10 protected. So they get to keep their pick now, Cal.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's interesting.
What was that, Tanvir?
I said that was interesting.
Right. I thought that was interesting as well. And what happens with Kyrie Irving? Does he return or not? That's going to be very weird.
That's going to be interesting. Oh, yeah.
What's crazy is without those guys playing, they were actually up by double digits at home against Chicago, and the Bulls come back and win that game by 3. Yeah. So that they almost screwed themselves over twice, like in the same game.
Yeah, that's really, really strange. All right, guys, I want to switch gears here and talk about Sunday's game against the Denver Nuggets. It is in Denver. It's the final game of the season, regular season, for the Sacramento Kings. Calvin, you mentioned a lot of guys you expect to rest for this game. What are you looking forward to on Sunday's matchup?
I'm looking forward to, again, getting a chance to see some guys play that you don't generally see play much, to see what they can really do. On both sides. I watched actually a good portion of that Denver-Phoenix game yesterday when Denver was resting everybody, and it was an entertaining game. The Nuggets' second-string players kept that game tight for the whole way. I talked about Peyton Watson earlier. I'm going to enjoy watching him play a lot because he's a guy that I think, if you're looking down the line, maybe at potential additions to the Kings or trade targets or something like that. The kid's only 20 years old. He's got a lot of potential. And who knows, what's going to happen with the Nuggets, who are another team that is, if that number of 162 million cap is really going to be, accurate, the Nuggets are already over it for next season.
Yeah.
And that's without, with a bunch of guys dropping off this team. So it's just fun to see kind of, young guys get in the game and potential to see what they can do. I like Keegan Murray having maybe another opportunity to be a little more of a, not necessarily the number one option, but more of a go-to guy, more of a go-to scoring option. I think it's good for his development, even though there were a lot of, very careless plays today. He still struggles to put the ball on the floor, finish with both hands at the rim. But, these are the types of moments that you need in order to get better. I mean, you can practice all day long and go against the same guys on your team all day long, all year long in practice, but it's different when you get in a game and all of a sudden you're the guy that they're looking to get the ball to, and not just as a catch and shoot option from three. I think it's good for him to have these types of opportunities.
Yeah, I agree. I'm more excited for the post-game show than I'm excited for the game on Sunday, Calvin, because it's going to be a celebration. I'm thinking we should bust out some champagne here in the studio.
I'm going to need it, man. Yesterday, I'm not going to lie. Yesterday, I was feeling pretty bummed that I have to cut the hair.
Really?
Yeah. This is the first time that I've really felt like that. I don't know why.
Looking in the mirror, running
but
your
I was
hair
just
through
like,
your fingers.
I was like, man, it's hard work.
Yeah.
I put in a lot of work on this thing.
Yeah, you did. How long is it now if you pull it all the way down?
It's like down to, probably past where Fox is.
Wow.
On my jersey.
Okay. That's really, really wild. Dennis says reality is setting in.
It is. It is big time.
For Calvin's haircut and for us Kings fans that the Kings are going to the playoffs. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I'm the kind of person where, like, for example, I'm leaving 6 days from now, Thursday night, to go to Sacramento, little mini vacation, going to see some family, going to see a Kings game, going to have some fun. It doesn't hit me yet. I'm not excited.
Yeah.
I'm not excited for it yet because it's too far away. Once I get at the airport and I go through security, that's when I kind of start getting like, here we go. It doesn't even hit me when I'm packing, really. It hasn't hit me yet for the Kings making the playoffs. It just hasn't quite hit me. I think Sunday will be the day where it's like the regular season is over. We're doing a podcast. We're happy. We're excited. We're having fun. And there's going to be more Kings basketball, which is going to be really, really cool. I saw someone in here earlier talking about, do we plan on doing post-game shows for the playoffs, which is an interesting question and something that Calvin and I haven't really fully figured out yet because we will be going to a game, the very first game. We will try and do a live show afterwards, whether it's going to be on Twitter Spaces, whether it's going to be on YouTube, or whether we just want to meet a bunch of Kings fans and go out to a bar and talk about the Kings. It's going to be one of those three things, and maybe we'll do that all together on Twitter Spaces. But definitely that's
probably
the plan.
Depends on the outcome of the game, too. I mean,
True.
if they win the game,
True.
It's party time.
True. So the schedule's going to be a little interesting on the very first one. After that, yes, we do plan on doing post-game. Calvin's going to be doing some traveling. I'm going to be doing some traveling. So we will be on YouTube. We will be on Twitter Spaces. I don't know if you're going to see our faces or maybe just one of our faces at a time, but we'll definitely be covering the rest of the postseason for the Sacramento Kings. So don't worry about that. Calvin, I think this pretty much wraps us up tonight. You got any other things on your mind?
Just ready for this postseason to start.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the Kings to know who their opponent is because I am getting a little tired of who would you rather play?
What about
what about these guys? Oh, I don't like playing these guys, blah, blah, blah. It's just I just want to know who the team is so we can focus on that. As I'm sure the Kings do as well.
You want to wake up Christmas morning and you want to know what those presents are under the tree. It's time to open them up. It's time to open them up.
It's fun to talk about it for a little bit, the possibilities and all that stuff, matchups and everything. But it's all kind of like the Kings box score today. It's all
Yeah.
kind of meaningless stats at this point because, the postseason is a whole different game.
Yeah, that's true. And Bouncer, maybe we will do some basketball at the bar stuff as well. As you can tell, the studio is much different. We're in the same place now. So maybe, just maybe, we can create another studio in here and do that. It really depends on how far the Kings go into the playoffs this year. But, hey, shout out to everybody for watching. Shout out to everybody for listening. We appreciate you all so much. Don't forget to smash up that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We will see you all on Sunday for the biggest party of your life. So thank you all so much for watching. In the meantime, go Kings. That's my bouncer.